I'm now going to invite the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets to present the colors of all the nations.
Representing Vienna, Austria. Representing Santiago, Chile. Representing Virginia, USA. Representing Vancouver, Canada. Representing Trento, Italy. Representing Zurich, Switzerland. Representing Monterrey, Mexico. Representing Ghent, Belgium. Representing Bangkok, Thailand. Representing Quito, Ecuador. Representing Alexandria, Egypt. Representing Sydney, Australia. And representing Kent, England. Thank you.
Many of you, or most of you know, has a very strong outreach program all across the globe. And to offer some opening remarks, I'd like to introduce our Vice President for Outreach and International Affairs, Dr. Guru Ghosh.
Good evening, colleagues and friends. It is wonderful again to be amongst all of you here. I missed this event last fall, and I am truly delighted to be back with all of you again. Dr. Joe Meredith and I were in Newport News earlier this morning to have a participate in a groundbreaking ceremony for the expansion of the Corporate Research Center's footprint around the Commonwealth of Virginia. And so we flew up this morning, came back this afternoon, and it reminded me about how this region, this Commonwealth of Virginia, this Mid-Atlantic region, in many ways exemplifies all that is good and great about these United States. The birthplace of the American dream took place in the fertile grounds of Jamestown and Williamsburg and Yorktown. And as Joe and I were there, we were talking about all the great things that our university is doing for the Commonwealth of Virginia. It also reminded me that this nation has not been built by risk managers, but by risk takers. And competitions like this magnificent event that we celebrate before the start of the academic year, every year for the last almost decade now, reminds me about the true spirit of American universities, certainly land-grant universities that were created in the depths of the American Civil War, but also the fact that frontier men and women came out to these lands and decided that the true ways towards economic prosperity and building a meaningful life occurred when people had purposeful lives to live, meaningful and gainful employment, and that indeed the seeds of prosperity was sown in our own soil, in the agricultural and mechanical arts in many ways. So I'm delighted that so many of the competitions, the teams that are representing us from around the world are continuing their the true spirit of technological advancement in their respective nations and the universities, but also looking at our continuous need to innovate and to grow as societies around the world. All of you know, and it comes as no surprise, that most of our nations around the world are going through dramatic and dynamic global change at this point, and it is truly a testament to the spirit of humanity that we come together as a community, where those of us that are living in the New River Valley open our homes this time of the year and celebrate the international population that embraces our and graces our communities during this time. So on behalf of Virginia Tech and on behalf of all the residents of our community here, I welcome all our visitors. Thank you for making it to Blacksburg one more time. I'm also, I would be remiss not to bring to all of your attention that this is Mr. Jim Flowers' last official year as the curator of this event. In many ways, Jim, as many of you know, was the brainchild of the Global Challenge competition that he began shortly after his arrival at Virginia Tech. And over the years, as I have come to truly admire his tenacity, his drive, his ambitions, and his moxie in many ways, if those of you that have read his book, we have, I'm going to terribly miss his leadership. And I can tell you, as a colleague and friend of Jim, that success in any organization begins when you have deep and inherent trust with one another. And Jim has been able to build trust like no other that I have seen at our institution here at Virginia Tech over the last decade. So if you would please join me in truly recognizing a stalwart in our community and a Hokie not by birth or by education, but certainly by adoption. Thank you, Jim. Jim, you're getting a standing ovation here, my friend. I told Jim I would embarrass him this evening, and the first thing he said to me, he said, "Guru, I would be nothing without my staff." And so I do want to honor Christine and Lindsay and everybody in VT KnowledgeWorks that do a remarkable job. I also want to thank the judges who are amongst us this evening. I would please ask that you stand and be recognized. Our host families spread across the region, please rise and be recognized. I am standing now in between the award ceremony and dinner, of course, but I also and you know, it's always a pleasure for me to watch Joe Meredith in action as he does these award ceremonies. But I do want to say that on behalf of all of us at Virginia Tech, that you know, we live in a time where artificial intelligence or AI is ubiquitous. You know, we talk about sensors, we talk about robots and how autonomous systems are going to take over our lives. But this university prides itself also in the intelligence of achievement, IA. Okay? While we create sensors, we also need to find ways to deeply connect with people. And our motto, Ut Prosum, that I may serve, permeates through every fabric of every faculty member's existence, and our students are inculcated to serve beyond the common good in many ways, looking out beyond their own interests. And so we are proud to be part of a university that is looking to create better communities both around the Commonwealth of Virginia and certainly around the world. And it is always a pleasure for me as I make my final comments to recognize the Mayor of Blacksburg and his wife, Mary. I'm delighted that they join us on every occasion early in the fall, at the start of the academic year. So thanks, have a wonderful evening, and all the best to the winning teams.
He was wrong. I stand between you and dinner. I want to take a moment, because we're doing all this clapping now, because later I know everybody's going to want to get right to the real answers that they care about. But while we're waiting, and is the dinner ready when we're ready to go? We can do a couple things that will just take a few moments. And this is one of the most important ones that we do every year. And that is, one of the host families is going to win a very nice trip down to the Hotel Roanoke and a little mini vacation. We do this each year, and I get to pull the ticket, and nobody paid me enough to hunt for their name, so this is actually really wide open. And the host family we recognize this year is Dan and Ann Baranato. I don't have it, but we have to make sure that they have enough fun to represent all the host families. Okay, good luck. And very quickly, again, because I want to make sure everything runs very smoothly after dinner, I'd like very quickly for each team to come up, and one member from each team. I'm going to give out some plaques you can take back to your home university, put on the wall someplace, or steal and hide in your apartment. Whatever suits you. So I'll call out the names and come up and get your plaque, please. Chitomics. Cohex. College dough. Curos Labs. Thank you very much. One of the more interesting names, FlyingScarecrows. Nexenic. Pal Agua. Planner. Prognitive. Thank you, sir. Recomendado. Silent Hero. Skycam. Tecuma. And Todo. Enjoy your dinner. Is finishing his umpty-umpth term. How long have you been mayor, Mr. Mayor?
12 years.
12 years. Who would want a political job for 12 years? But I would like you to welcome Ron Rordam, Mayor of Blacksburg.
No, the real reason is I heard Jim was going to retire. And I said, if Jim's going to retire, I just can't be mayor any longer. But I want to welcome y'all on behalf of the town of Blacksburg here to Blacksburg, to Virginia Tech. Everyone who's here in the competition, I hope you have enjoyed your time. All the host families, thank you for what you do, because you represent us so well. And all the feedback I always get is so positive. So thank you all very much. I do have a question for Joe, though. Joe, you just came back from Newport News. Did you bring my Whole Foods? Okay, checks in the mail. Good. And it's always good because every year they let me go before Joe, because after you hear Joe talking, you know why you don't ever go after Joe, because he's so good. As mayor, you learn never to stand between food and anything. But I think it's even worse to stand between right now and the awards. So I'm going to be quick and just tell you a little bit about Blacksburg, that we are a town of about 45,000. We're the second largest town in Virginia. Virginia has a weird political system. And one of the reasons why we are the second largest and why we are the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing regions in Virginia, is because of our entrepreneurs, the good spirit, the entrepreneurial spirit. And some of the decisions that we have made over the years. We've talked about supporting quality of life, and hopefully that would attract people, and it has. We encourage investment. We encourage downtown. We are a diverse and inclusive community, and we're very proud of that. And we continue to be and continue to support those values that are so important for us. There's so much to do here culturally. You probably have seen the Center for the Arts, Moss Art Center, just down on Main Street. It has been a wonderful addition. You can see different performances here that you can see in New York also. But the traffic's better, and the hotels don't cost as much, and some of us, we can just walk home from it. So it's really pretty good. But we have Theater One. We have the old Lyric Theater downtown that's been restored. Regionally, we work so well with a lot of our communities around us, with the city of Roanoke. There's a great bond between Blacksburg and Roanoke, and it's so important that we do that, because I think that helps us move forward. And as you know, you've probably gone on some hikes, so you know we have a beautiful area. So why am I saying all this? Well, you're going to have some really great companies coming out of this, that at some point you're going to want to look for where you're going to locate in the United States. Where are you going to have that office? So I am here to make that pitch. Y'all have been doing pitches all the time. So this is my pitch. When you reach that point, come back to Blacksburg. We would love to have you with open arms. Enjoy, everybody, just the best of luck tonight. I know you've worked very hard, and I can't wait to see who ends up with that prize. So thank you.
In just a moment, I'm going to introduce the people you really want to hear. But before I do that, I have to thank them, because I came here in 2004 with a blank portfolio, and Joe Meredith made it possible for me to assemble a staff and do the things that we've done over these last few years. And it absolutely would not have happened without his amazing support and forbearance and cheerleading. So, Joe, you know, people are saying nice things to me, but it's because you let me come here, and thank you very much. So here's the person you really want to hear from, Dr. Joe Meredith, the president of the Corporate Research Center.
Good evening. So I have a very pleasant task tonight of presenting money, but I have to admit, I got a little weepy at supper tonight thinking about this being kind of a transitional evening for KnowledgeWorks. Jim's last event, I was thinking about when Jim came to see me about 9 years ago with a fellow named Augustine from Telecom Sud Paris in France. They came in my office and Jim said, we've got this idea for this competition, and what we're kind of thinking we could have students from all over the world come and compete. And then he went on to say I would get a chance to meet a lot of people all over the world, and then I can go visit them and write my book. And he's telling me all these great reasons why we should do this. And I was thinking at supper tonight, the Global Challenge as a startup was born in my mind at that meeting. We couldn't have raised a dime on our business plan. We had no customers. We had no revenue. We had no idea that host families would be as gracious as they've been over the years to house the students when they're here. I mean, there's no chance in the world that we could have won a competition like this because we had no plan. But in my mind, the lesson learned was if you have superior leadership, if the leadership has a vision, and the leadership is smart enough to hire somebody like Lindsay and Christine to do all the real work, next thing you know, you've got a successful business. And that's what we've got. So I want to apologize because I didn't have, as Guru said, I didn't have an opportunity to see the presentations today. Usually I look at them and in spite of what the judges say, I just give the awards to who I think should get them. But this year we can't do that because I didn't see the awards. So the first award we'd like to give is the $10,000 Information Technology Award. Are you interested in who? How about Curios Labs from Vancouver, British Columbia?
Hello from Virginia, if anyone in Canada's watching. Oh, sorry.
Tristan, Burgoyne.
Alex Toews.
We're Kuros Labs.
There's 100 million Americans who suffer from chronic pain, and over half of them feel ill-equipped to deal with their pain. So we're developing software tools to make pain management easier.
See, we've actually both lived with chronic pain at some point during our lives, and through this experience, we've both tried every solution out there to track, understand, and try and improve our pain. And so our product is the only solution that will actually provide day in, day out coaching for changed behaviors to help people living with chronic pain decrease their pain levels over time.
So between the two of us, we've got over a decade of experience living with chronic pain. As we stand here today, one of us is recovered and one is on the way there. And you know, in the past year, we've started working on this. It's grown into an incorporated company. We've spoken with countless patients and practitioners who say, let me know when it's ready. We want this. And that just keeps us going with the excitement and energy. So today's one more step on that journey.
My wife Susan reminded me yet again tonight that one year we were doing this and I turned over all of these checks. What a mess, and they still invited me back. It's so cool. It's my pleasure to introduce James Schultz from Plastics One to award the Manufacturing Award. James?
Wow, what an honor it is to be amongst you from all around the world. Really impressed just to read some of the portfolios that were out there, and I probably don't get to say too much, but I was really impressed with what you guys have done. It's exciting to have so many dreamers in one room. I think we all, whether you're old or young, you want to dream what you guys are doing today and what you're doing here. America was founded on the dreamers that we have, and I work with a lot of great dreamers. They drive me crazy because I have to actually get it to make it functional. But it's really a pleasure to be up here before you guys, and after much careful deliberation on part of the judging panel, not myself, I didn't have a say in that one, but the winner of the 2017 Plastics One Advanced Manufacturing Award and $10,000 prize is Cohex from Santiago, Chile.
I am Maurizio.
Josefa Villanueva.
And Luckas Fonck.
Cohex. Thank you.
It's a capsule designed to control humidity inside the boxes of exportation fruit in order to reduce losses. It works by controlling the humidity levels and leaving them in the optimum range that each fruit needs, because they have a specific level. So the capsule keeps that for the whole trip. That could take around 40 days sometimes. So yeah, by that we can reduce the losses by 46%.
Well, this was our thesis project. We did a Master Innovation in Design, and we've been working on this problem for a year, and the solution has been changing. We did a lot of iteration in the process, and now we get the best one.
I think it was a hard problem to solve. So at the beginning, we were trying to kill the fungus during the trip. Then we realized it's a bit hard because it needs to be in contact with some kind of material to kill it if you don't want to spray chemicals over it. So then we realized that we have to work with the conditions, that would be the variables of temperature and humidity. And that's a big challenge because it's hard to control these physical effects. And I think there's when we start getting more involved and more related with the project, because it was a big challenge. And then when we get to a point where we had a solution, then we were just really, really happy, and then we were like, yeah, let's go and do it.
Well, this is a really good opportunity to us to get money to keep developing our project, and also to come here to the US. And for example, our coach, he works with the industry, so he's a really good advisor. We think that this is a really big step in this process. I think that we are good. We feel that we already won just for being here. We're really happy to be here. The whole program, these 2 weeks, has been really amazing. Like, we had a very good time with the other groups from the other countries, and we are really happy just for being here.
It's been a very good experience. We're glad.
So the next prize is the $15,000 add-on to one of those two teams. The guys from Chile were so excited to win. I mean, let's give it to them. What do you say? Come on back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, help me understand this. You guys won the play-in competition, right? Virtual play-in? That is so cool. I mean, that makes this so international. So awesome. So the People's Choice Award, I really know who it is. Zurich, Switzerland.
My name is Claudio.
My name is Reto.
Nexenic. Thank you. Well, we will be presenting the first smart lunchbox with our steaming technology inside, which can heat up a meal in a short period of time, and it has a rechargeable battery in it, so you can eat wherever you want. For example, in a sunny day you can go to the park and heat your meal in this lunchbox. It's not heavy, it's not big, it's like a normal lunchbox, but with our steaming technology inside and our control system. We were at school at the college, and we got our schedules for the next semester, and we had only a short lunch break. And we knew it from our canteen that there are a lot of students that want to heat up their meals in the microwaves, and at 12 o'clock, as everyone wants to eat, there is a long queue. So I went to him and said, come on, we have to change this. And then we came up with the idea of a smart, innovative lunchbox which can heat up a meal.
It's a really great opportunity, and the whole week was such a good experience already, and we're now really excited for the competition. Yeah, and a bit nervous too.
Yeah, it has been. We talked to other teams, and yeah, they also had the problems that we have, and so we don't be that nervous.
Yeah, you also get this startup feeling here because all are on the same, almost on the same level, and almost on the same journey. So it's cool. It's very cool. Yeah, very excited. Yeah, we think that's gonna be the next big thing that will kick the microwave out. So yeah, we are very, very excited. Yeah.
So congratulations to all the winners. Jim, your bets.
That's kind of cool, isn't it? A few little fun things. Once dinner concludes, teams, please stay, and our esteemed photographer, Tweaks, is going to take official team pictures for you so that you've got standing in a cool place, and if you won something, holding it, and so you'll have those forever and ever. So don't rush out the door. Stay and just get in order in some orderly fashion. Try to capture his attention, and he'll take pictures for it. Where are you going to do it? We're going to do it in front of the flags. So just kind of queue up here in some reasonable fashion. And then all the global guests are invited to an after-party celebration, and go downtown in Blacksburg, have a good old time. Students should be dropped off by their host families at PK's Bar and Grill. So if you can get them down to PK's, that'd be really good. Students, be sure you have your ID if you want to consume alcohol. and money, always a good thing. And at 12:30 a.m., we will have shuttles at PK's to take you home. So, be there. We can't go hunting for you. So that means those of you who are more responsible than others, please make sure your friends are also at PK's. Okay? And we'll get you home at a reasonable hour. Tomorrow morning, you all know to be at the Inn at Virginia Tech by 9 o'clock in the morning to get on a bus to go to Roanoke. I'll be taking attendance on the bus to make sure we don't leave any behind. So if all of you want to go, don't leave anybody behind. Make sure they're on the bus, including your rowdy faculty members and other folks that, only one bus. So after this, just go ahead and finish up with your dinner. Come and line up and get Tweaks to take your picture. Go have a great party. And thanks again to everybody in the room, the sponsors not here, the host companies that may or may not be here. What a great thing. And thank you all and everybody for the past 8 years for a great run we've had with BT KnowledgeWorks and this global partnership. Good night, all.